Milepost 10 on the Norfolk District. The old N&W era milepost still stands alongside the more modern Norfolk Southern one. Also a modern addition is Amtrak Northeast Regional service to the northeast. This is train 95 from Boston, Massachusetts, which will terminate in Norfolk in just a few minutes. Hit one of the usual night spots, Suffolk, for, as always when I'm up there, an evening of rail fanning the NS Norfolk District. And one of the staples is local train V07. V07 runs switchback style from NS's Portlock Yard over to the Virginia International Gateway on the Commonwealth Railway. They usually run past Suffolk, clear the signals, and go the other direction on the CWRY trackage. The usual operational pattern does have the caboose always leading on the NS side and the locomotive leading on the CWRY side. At the time this video was shot, Amtrak had served the city of Norfolk twice daily, and this is the second train, number 93, crossing over at Suffolk from Main Track 1 to Main Track 2. One of the hottest trains out of NS's Portlock Yard is train 233. Presently ID'd as 277, the 233 ran from Portlock Yard with international and domestic intermodal traffic out west to Chicago, Illinois. The international containers are loaded both at VIG on the CWRY and at the Norfolk International Terminal, which is served by the Norfolk and Portsmouth Beltline. The former Norfolk and Western Depot here at Suffolk is a popular gathering spot for local rail fans, and at least twice a week or whenever there is something interesting running, you will find local rail fans perched at this spot. Notice how that sign says the Virginia Division. That's a thing of the past now. Some very good dispatching puts empty double-barrel coal train 821 on main track 1 while VO7 enters the Commonwealth on track 2. It is continuous double track all the way to at least Roanoke. Stay out late enough and you'll get train 227, a westbound double stack and mixed manifest train bound for Harrisburg's Rutherford Yard. The manifest does, however, get set off at Lynchburg's Montview Yard, and oh yes, they had also changed the symbol on this train too. It is now train 274. This cut of mixed manifest comes from the handful of customers left on the NS Norfolk District, as well as 3 short lines, the Commonwealth, Chesapeake and Albemarle, and the Norfolk Portsmouth Belt Line. Shifting gears, and we are on the CSX Peninsula Sub in Henrico County. This is train U-107, empty double-barrel coal from Newport News Dominion Terminal. The U-107, with a fresh crew out of the Chesapeake and Ohio Fulton Yard, meets Amtrak Northeast Regional P-125 emerging from its Richmond Main Street station stop. The U-107 is running on the near track as it will go up the James River back to the coalfields. nearly 3-mile-long viaduct along the north bank of the James River is one of the coolest features on the Chesapeake and Ohio, and was part of the line that allows the CNO to go closer to the river, facing easier grades. The original alignment goes through more mountainous terrain, but CSX has moved most of the traffic over to this line. They do send a couple empties on it, using overhead trackage rights, as the line is now leased to the Buckingham branch. Back at another familiar location, the Ashland Amtrak station, home to virtual railfan's Ashland, Virginia webcam, which I recommend you all check out on YouTube. The pan, tilt, and zoom webcam towers high above the Amtrak former Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railway Station, and the station itself received a series of upgrades. Brand spanking new lighting, making this a very cool spot at night. New platforms, ADA accessibility. They even fixed the pedestrian railroad crossing. It is typically the Northeast Regional trains that do call here at Ashland, just like train 93 pulling into a very steady stop on track number 2. The funny thing is, it took way longer for the train to come to a complete stop than to complete the station stop itself. In just a few seconds, 93 blasts off with its final destination set for Norfolk, Virginia.
Clear 15-5, free track south.
The Silver Service, Palmetto, Carolinian, and Auto trains do not call at Ashland, however, but it was cool to see 97 bound from Miami passing by on track number 2. CSX runs 8 daily manifest trains through Ashland on the RF&P, and if you spend a couple hours here, you're bound to see one. This was then Q301, now M301, which at the time ran from Oak Island, New Jersey to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The familiar cut of waste management trash bound for Waverly, Virginia is on the head end. northbound manifest went by a little bit after, but unfortunately I did forget the train ID, so my apologies for that. But it's, one of the 4 possible northbounds. Probably Q410, maybe 416, we'll figure that out. Like that, we are back at Suffolk on the Main Street overpass for train 29G, which is now symboled as 273, with a nice sonic bonnet leader on the head end. The 4001 looked very good coming out of a rebuild after a very horrific wreck up north. And also up north is a destination of 29G, Detroit, Michigan. This is Colley Avenue, the last control point on the NS's approach into Lambert's Point. And Lambert's Point is where all of the loaded coal trains go. There they have the rotary dumpers where the Beth guns will be unloaded and the coal will be dumped on ships for export internationally. Just as it is the end of this coal train's journey, this will end this part of some Virginia rail fanning, but there is a lot more to come, especially this catch. especially if you want to look out for this part, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, and I really appreciate you all for following me along on this journey around southeastern Virginia. From Norfolk, Virginia, on the Chesapeake and Albemarle Original Norfolk and Southern Main Line, this is TE out.